मैं सिर्फ इतना कहना चाहती हूँ कि आप लोगों ने हमारे दिल को छू लिया. हमारी आर्मी एंड एयरफोर्स ऑफिसर्स ऑल्सो इंस्पायर्ड अस एंड यू ऑल्सो रियली इंस्पायर्ड अस. और मैं बस आप लोगों की करेज की दाद देना चाहती हूँ. इफ़ आई मे रिक्वेस्ट यू टू स्टैंड हियर, अंजू जी, हिडमे जी एंड तुलसी जी. एंड आई थिंक कि आपने इंस्पायर किया है यहाँ पे एक स्टैंडिंग ओवेशन. एंड आई वॉन्ट टू कॉल अ वेरी स्पेशल गेस्ट to honor them. If I can also have the award for the Chhattisgarh Mahila Police on the stage. We have, and oh my God, before I could introduce Janhvi, here she is. I was just going to do the introduction.
Oh no, I'm
but,
so sorry.
But she doesn't need an introduction. This is Janhvi Kapoor, everybody. Can we please welcome her? Hello, a big round of applause. And may I request Janhvi to please present the Mahila Police Commandos. They've been talking about how they came from extreme poverty and now battle violence in the forests of Chhattisgarh. Very moving stories. Aye, ma'am. And I'm going to request you to do the honors. Can we have a please big round of applause for this moment? I want to hear the hall burst with applause. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Come, Janhvi. Second seat. Thank you. Okay, I couldn't actually introduce Janhvi properly, so I'm going to do it now. Could I request everybody to take their seats? The very lovely, accomplished, generous, gentle Janhvi Kapoor is here. And when I was thinking of how I wanted to frame this conversation, I called it Redefining Stardom, because I really believe that Janhvi has done this journey on her own terms with absolute rootedness, authenticity, grace and humility, and a lot of talent and a lot of hard work. So may we please put our hands together for the fabulous Janhvi Kapoor. I want to hear some more love in this hall. Yes. Param Sundari. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's always lovely to meet you. It's always lovely to have you at this forum. I want to start by asking you, there's something you said to me the last time we met, which has been about 2-3 years ago, at We the Women. And you said, I've got fame, but I still haven't got respect. You said, stardom to mili, izzat nahi mili, ek din izzat bhi milegi. I think this is your moment. I think in so many ways, whether it's a Param Sundari or whether it's a Homebound, which is India's Oscar selection, Oscar entry, you've traveled very far from that moment where you felt that people adored you, they applauded you, but you felt that you were missing that moment of respect, izzat. You remember you said that to me? Do you feel differently today, Janhvi?
Firstly, ma'am, I just want to say it's such an honor to be on the stage with you. I'm so happy to be here with all of you guys.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's welcome her warmly. Yes.
And it's such an honor to be on the stage, especially with the amazing people that you've had on previously. I was just speaking to them before and I said that I'm really no one to give them an award. It's just such a blessing to even share the stage with people that are doing so much good work and real work for our country. Even looking at the front row here, honestly, it's my honor to see all of you women in uniforms. It makes me so proud. Yeah. It's been a while since I've spoken in front of a live audience. I don't know why I'm nervous today. I feel like I'm maybe coming down with something because of this shitty-ass AQI, but...
Yes, that we can all complain about.
Yeah, no, but coming back to your question, ma'am, I think that over these past couple of years, one thing that I've learned for sure is that जब तक आप खुद की इज्जत नहीं करोगे ना, कोई और भी आपकी इज्जत नहीं करेगा. And I think that has been my major learning. So I think back then, if I was sitting like, I'm aware that I'm being watched. I'm aware that, as weird as this sounds, fame, I guess, came easily to me by virtue of whose daughter I was. And so I've never felt that this thing कि oh no, I want eyeballs or I want reach, वो तो हमेशा से मिलता था, whether it's a good thing or whether it's a bad thing. And I kept waiting कि अरे कोई मुझे बोल दे कि मैं आपकी इज्जत करती हूँ या I look up to the work that you do या अच्छा काम कर रहे हो. But till you don't recognize your own skill set, till you don't recognize what you have to offer, what you bring to the table, कोई आपका माँ बेटा चाचा नहीं है कि वो आपके लिए करेगा. You need to give yourself वो दर्जे पे आपको खुद को रखना है.
बिल्कुल.
And you need to recognize your skill set. And I think especially as women, we're so wired to get that signal externally.
Yeah, constantly seeking validation.
Yeah. But I think whenever you enter a room, whenever you enter a work environment, whenever you're told how to feel about yourself, you need to decide on your own that no, I believe in myself this much, and then everything else follows. So I don't know कि बाहर से वो इज्जत मिल रही है नहीं मिल रही है. मैं बस अपना काम करने की कोशिश कर रही हूँ, शिद्दत से कर रही हूँ, मेहनत से कर रही हूँ, और मैं खुद की इज्जत करती हूँ. मैं जानती हूँ कि जब मैं सेट पे आती हूँ, मैं मेरा काम जानती हूँ, और बाकी लोग वो देख के मेरी इज्जत करते हैं. They hear what I have to say, and I think that I'm still working on that. But that's the journey that's happened over the past couple of years.
That's quite a journey since we last met, and I guess therefore I should reframe my question. क्या आपने वो दूसरों से इज्जत ढूंढना बंद कर दिया है?
नहीं प्लीज इज्जत कीजिए. ऐसी बात नहीं है, बट आई थिंक वो एक चीज़ होती है ना, एंड आई थिंक इट्स अ कॉन्सिक्वेंस ऑफ द जॉब ऑल्सो दैट प्लीज़ लाइक मी, आई वॉन्ट यू टू लाइक मी, ये पसंद आया, आज जो पहनी वो पसंद आया, वो जो मैंने मूवी के वो पसंद आया आपको. एंड आई फील लाइक एज एन आर्टिस्ट, एज अ ह्यूमन, एज अ सिटीजन ऑफ दिस कंट्री, आई एम क्यूरियस अबाउट सो मच मोर इन लाइफ than to just be liked. So it's okay if not everyone over here is a fan of my work or supports everything that I say or do.
Yeah.
But my agenda is that I'm doing everything with honesty, and I'm in search of something that ultimately I hope will make me a better artist and a better citizen of this country and a better global citizen. And that's really what I want out of life.
And more power to you. And as I said, it's been a year which in so many ways has been your moment. And we're all really rooting for Homebound at the Oscars. And, you know, fingers crossed. Ishan was here earlier this afternoon. And I said, he was here in the afternoon. I said the same thing to him. Your mom has been such a larger than life presence in your, you know, even after she's no longer here, but she's always with you. And one of the things that you've spoken about and you've shared is your pain at not being able to grieve her with dignity and privacy, where every response you had to losing Sridevi ji was judged and caricatured. How did you deal with that? You know, I think you said if I smile, they say, oh, she's not even grieving. If I don't smile, they'll say something else. It just sounds so cruel to have to go through that, to lose your parent, and then, I think as you said, see it reduced to entertainment.
I think the feeling and the phase that I went through during that time is something I'll never be able to verbalize. And I think that it was such an individual experience that even if I told y'all everything about it, I don't know if any of y'all would ever be able to relate to it. And I'm always conscious about sounding like I'm saying things to get y'all to feel bad for me. And so I always refrain a little bit because
we're not going to
I would hate that. I know everyone is opportunistic in nature and everyone just wants a headline, and I would hate if I ever sounded like I was using such a painful part of my life and my relationship with my mother for a headline. So I think that always holds me back. But what I will say is that the voyeuristic nature of, I hope you don't mind me saying this, but of journalism today.
I don't mind at all. I would agree with you more loudly than you would imagine.
Of media culture today, of social media today, has single-handedly contributed, I think, to the complete derailment of human morality. And I'm seeing it more and more every day. And I think it was horrible when I lost my mom. I don't know if anyone of y'all can imagine what it's like to lose someone that close to you and see it become a meme. It's not, I don't even know how to compute it, so I don't know how to explain it, but it's just gotten worse. I mean, we saw what happened with Dharamji. It's happened repeatedly before that. I'm sure it will only get worse. But I will say this, I think we are part of the problem. I think every time we give videos or headlines or narratives like this, views, comments, likes, every time we look for something like that, we are incentivizing this culture. And I'm telling you guys, humanity, morality is in shambles. And it's so depressing to look at because I think before we had a consciousness in us that stopped us from seeing certain things, saying certain things, indulging in certain practices, but that's out the window and it's disgusting. I think that this is the modern day crisis, that we've lost our morality as a result of how voyeuristic everything has become. Someone dies somewhere, some horrible attack has somewhere, you kind of want to see the things that you shouldn't see, and it gives you this strange feeling of, I guess it's that same horrible feeling of satisfaction that sometimes you get when you gossip, but it's been encouraged so much through social media. And yeah, I think it's, even if I'm not directly involved in all of these things, even when I see it from a third person's point of view, I find it to be quite depressing.
Yeah. You know, I was just remembering when your mother died, I wrote a column in the Washington Post and I said, Sridevi died and so did television news today. Because I was so horrified as a journalist at how her death had been memed, how there were graphic reproductions, how there was, God, I don't know why I'm remembering this, but a reporter actually sat in a tub and tried to recreate that. And I can't imagine what you felt watching that. I was commenting on it as somebody who couldn't recognize my profession. You would have seen it as a daughter, as a devastated daughter. And I can't even imagine the scars that must have left.
Honestly, I wasn't allowed to watch TV
I'm glad.
for a lot of that phase. But I mean, things keep coming up even now. Things
They'll
are
just
said
pop
even
up
now.
on the feed or whatever, yeah.
And of course, it hurt me as a daughter. It was so confusing for me as a daughter. And it's something that I'm still, I don't know if I'll ever recover from, but the anger that I felt was not so much as a daughter, but it was more to do with what have we come to? Like, why does anyone think it's okay? Like, yes, you want to get your TRPs up, but at the cost of what? Like, how do you sleep at night? And then when I realized that even saying these things or asking these questions doesn't make the other person want to introspect, I was like, I'm genuinely at the point where I'm feeling like I don't know what hope we have if we don't course correct and have certain guidelines in place that discourage these kind of practices.
Yeah. You know, you said actors also, or not just actors, all of us also fuel this social media frenzy. How do you deal with it? Do you step back from it every now and then? Do you say, you know what, I'm not going to go there, I'm not going to look at it? Like, how do you, and this is, you know, beyond personal losses, beyond personal tragedies. As you said, sometimes, you know, you're looking for that, am I looking nice? Are they saying nice things about me? How do you keep your sense of balance, Janhvi?
I'll tell you what, Barkha ma'am, a couple of weeks ago, I took a social media break, an internet break. I didn't forget my social media, I just didn't look at anything. And I was extremely happy. Ignorance is bliss. Everything was amazing. There were unicorns running around, rainbows in the sky, la-di-da-di-da. And then I started feeling like, okay, but because of my profession, I need to know what people are saying. I need to know what they think about my work. I need to know if like this movie is tracking this way. I needed to keep my hand on the pulse of all of these things. So I don't know how much I can afford to completely step away, but there are certain things that I know about how the system works that makes me a little calmer with my approach to it. I know that no opinion on social media or on the news, or in the newspaper for that matter, is any longer an honest opinion. So much of what you see has an agenda. For example, there are many variables, right? Like if you're an influencer, if you're a content creator, what is your main agenda? You want influence, you want those likes, you want those views. So what are you going to talk about? What is your headline going to be? It's going to be things that get attention. Everyone's just jumping on a bandwagon. There's that, and then there's different things, sometimes this is a new thing that I learned about digital agencies. They even start trends against you, or they leak something from like a long time ago, and then they call you up and they're like, oh, this thing is happening, we can sort it out for you if you let us work for you. So there are so many machineries in place, there are competing production houses, there are competing narratives, and so you kind of have to realize that none of this means anything. I can do that, but I know that for the common man, when they see these things, it's so easy for them to buy into it. So
So let's talk about happier things than media. I'm being self-flagellating here, but I agree with every word you've said. What are your safe spaces? What are your normal moments? What are your, sort of go-to corners for being yourself?
With my dogs, for sure.
With your dogs?
I love my dogs. I have 19 dogs.
What? What? Do you know?
I'm a mad dog lady.
Okay, hang on. You know all the names?
Yes.
No, like.
Should I name them? Some of them are politically
19.
incorrect.
19 karo, name.
Yeah.
Okay, go.
Okay. Jackson Jordan, Saitama. Any of y'all watched One Punch Man on Netflix? Yeah, so apparently he's called Saitama. A friend of mine told me, so we named him Saitama. Then we adopted another dog who we were going to give away eventually. So we had a placeholder name for him. We called him Saitama ka Bhai Tama. But then he just stayed. So now his name is Bhai Tama, which has really affected his personality. There's Yuki Shiro Bopeep, Luna Anora, Nepo, and how many am I at? Is anyone keeping count? 10, na?
Oh my God.
Oh, and then there's Mogambo, Danger, Tufan, Malai, Kulfi. Now how many am I at? No, guys, how is this possible?
Yeah, we've lost count now.
We've lost count.
Yeah.
15? Wait, I definitely have more dogs than 15. I've been saying 19 for the past year. Did you guys count Luna and Anora? Oh, Mochi and Panda. And Mo the Pappu, which means dal chawal in Telugu.
What?
No, 19 ho gaya na?
Acha.
Yeah.
Okay, so 19 dogs.
Yeah.
And is that your safe space? Is that
Does
your
that
fun
sound
space?
horrible that I only feel safe around 19 dogs?
No, look, I say this as an animal lover. Like when everything else goes wrong, if I find that like I can talk to my cats and dogs and feel so much better, and I do. It doesn't mean I don't talk to people. It doesn't mean I don't have friends. It doesn't mean I don't have anything else. But there's something so unconditional in the love of your pets that it is just...
I mean, of course, it's with my pets, it's at home with my family, it's on a film set, it's in front of a camera, I think, is when I feel the most myself, the safest, the most like, okay, this I know, this I can be myself. Over here, no one's judging me, and even if they are judging me, I'm a character, or I'm in this world where I can play and I can do things. So, yeah.
Okay, I will never be forgiven if I don't allow some audience questions. So we're going to open this up. I'm going to first go to the women. I'm going to first go to women if I can see them. Here, okay, you've got to come up because the hall is dark, so I can't see you. I can't see them. Yeah, there. Yeah, okay. Hand her a mic, please. Hand her a mic. Yeah, there it is.
Hi, Janhvi. This is Snigdha from IIMUN. First of all, I must compliment this outfit. This drip is totally giving.
Thank you.
Lovely outfit. Now, my question to you is, for all of us, for every human being, every citizen of India, we want to serve the nation in some or the other way. We've heard some beautiful women from our defense who've served the nation by being or by joining the defense. Some people do it by portraying the nation in sports. Do you think what you do as art, and now that Homebound has also made it to the Oscars, do you think your art and your cinema also is serving the nation in some or the other way, or is bringing India to the international platform in some or the other way?
I really don't think I can compare my profession to that of amazing defense forces at all. But having said that, I was actually having a discussion with my friends the other day about civic sense and civic responsibility. And I think the point that we arrived at is that no matter what your profession is, I think the first step in serving your nation is being a good citizen of the country in small ways. And
You can clap more freely. Yes.
And if I can be completely honest with you guys, I think that we can all collectively do better at it.
Yeah.
Especially with everything that we have in our land, within our people, within our communities, our heritage, our culture. I don't know if... See, I know that we kind of have this sense of we're a young nation. We got our independence, you know, we're not as old as some of these other nations that we often compare ourselves to. Population is another thing, and given all of these variables, where we stand today is extremely commendable. But I think that all of us, or I feel like the common man sometimes walks around with this feeling of, I don't know if I'm being looked out for enough over here, to main to bas khud ka dekhunga. It's about survival. And I think we're waiting for things to get better on the outside to be like, acha, abhi sab kuch theek hai, now I'll be a better citizen because I'm being looked out for. But I really think it starts the other way. And I'm completely aware that I'm sitting on this high horse over here, living a life completely different to that of the common man of this country, and saying, we need to all have better civic sense and responsibility. But I really think that we need to be more responsible about the land that we've been given. We have so much. And I know that we're dealing with the baggage, centuries of baggage of being looted, plundered, invaded on, not just literally, but even psychologically by so many people. But I think that what we have is so valuable, and I think it's time that we start showing more respect towards it, even if it's something as small as just littering, or when we go to public places, the way that we deal with each other. And no matter what job you have, just doing it with complete sincerity. And I know that not all of us are doing jobs that we're fully passionate about. Sometimes we're just trying to make ends meet. But I think that it's going to be a collective effort in having our ultimate goal and vision for India to be what it's meant to be. I know I went off on a rant.
No,
I'm
you
really
actually
sorry.
didn't. I mean, I think it made a lot of sense that you start doing the little things, and that too is service to the country and to the community. Okay, one more question. Yes, ma'am. Could you stand up? Yes, you. Stand up. Can we get at the mic, please? Yeah, there.
Hello. Hi.
Yeah.
Hi.
I just
Speak
have
louder a little bit. Yeah.
I just have a question I was just thinking about. So do you think harm is systemic? And do you think we can do things to, even with women, systemically, having to face discrimination or something? But do you think, people can bring about change in that?
Of course, and I think that all change first starts with awareness and conversation and debate. I was thinking about it the other day, and I hope this isn't misconstrued into a headline, if you all can just try to understand what I'm saying before jumping to conclusions. Of course, this conversation of privilege has been a big conversation my whole life.
Yeah.
And I was talking to someone about how you will always meet someone who's more or less privileged than you. And with the way things are, I think people don't realize what a privilege it is sometimes to be a man. You know, there's so many things that are just taken for granted.
Absolutely.
No one says no to you for so much. You don't have to think about when you go out at night. You don't need to think about what you wear. You don't need to think about, did I say too much in this meeting? Did I say too less? It has become a privilege that so many people are not even privy about. We as women know the difference sometimes. So I think it starts with conversation, it starts with debate, it starts with being able to use your voice and encouraging people you know, the generation ahead of you, to sort of be more aware about what being an equal actually means. Because as women, I really think that we're completely unstoppable. We just need to realize it a little bit more. And there truly is no bigger privilege than being a woman. We just need to start being treated the same way.
Thank you.
What would you like to use your voice for? You know, you said it's about using your voice for the issues you care about. And obviously, passion is in front of the camera, your craft. But how would you like that craft to change lives? You know, how would you like to, it could be, as you said, something small. It could be, you know, on the road in front of my house, I will ensure there's no littering. Or it could be rescuing animals, you know. It could be anything. But outside of your craft, which is your professional passion, what else do you love doing? What else do you want to spend and immerse your energy in?
Like I said before, ma'am, I'm an extremely curious person.
What makes you curious these days?
These days, I think a lot of everything makes me curious, really. I think my art is obviously a medium through which I explore lives that are completely different to mine. But really, I don't think we can go anywhere if we don't know where we come from. And I think for a long time, we were very disconnected from our roots.
Yeah.
And of course, I think that's a result of so many things that have happened to this country historically, but I think it's so important for us as the youth of this country to be completely aware and connected to what is happening on the ground level, why certain things are the way that they are, where certain behavioral patterns come from. For example, I'm ashamed to admit this, but I knew nothing about the caste dynamics of this country before doing Homebound. I knew very little about women in armed forces and what that journey has been like before I did Gunjan Saxena. My knowledge about pre-independence India, what happened during the partition, what happened during, you know, the Vedic civilization or Mesopotamia, all of these things, I'm so curious about it because I think it's made up the genetic DNA of all of us as a population and is dictating how we interact with each other, and of course things like our foreign policy. But I guess what I'm trying to arrive at is that we need to empower ourselves with all of this knowledge and use it in all aspects of our decision making, whether it's our profession, whether it's about even in our personal life. So I think that, yeah, just empower yourself with as much knowledge as possible with regards to why we are the way that we are and where that heritage comes from.
Do you still find time to read? Because, you know, these days, everybody, all of us are just reading our phones.
To be honest, I don't know if you guys feel this. Has your attention span diminished completely because of reels? It's horrible. Like, I feel like movie dekhte waqt bhi na, my finger starts going like this and I'm wondering where my phone is and I'm so ashamed of it. It's horrible.
It is.
But I've made it a point to, before I go to sleep, read at least a couple of pages of a book or watch videos that seem to be a little more informative. But I find that nothing engages me more than human interaction. I think no matter how horrible our attention span has gotten, one thing that we'll never get tired of is just connecting with another person and asking them about their experiences.
I just want to ask you in the end, to all the young girls in particular here who are listening to you, something you've learned in the last few years from living life, right? That you want to say to them, that they can take away from this evening.
I don't know if I've done enough to sort of give a sermon about...
Not a sermon, it could be a little thing. Something you've discovered about yourself that you think probably everybody goes through that journey.
I think self-doubt has been a big one in my life. And I think that what I've realized is people encourage self-doubt in you sometimes, and I don't think this is exclusive to women. I think even in men, oftentimes to sort of control you. I think that you need to identify that, and you need to identify, because all of us have something to offer that the next person doesn't. But the way of the world is that you will always be compared, and you will always be made to feel inferior. And it's also human nature to look at someone and think कि काश मेरा भी ऐसा होता या काश मैं भी ऐसी होती. But एक बार खुद के अंदर भी झांक के देखो, आपके अंदर में भी इतना सब कुछ है जो सामने वाले के पास नहीं है. And I'm not talking about materialistic things. I'm talking about inherently how you see the world is so individually yours. And this is something that I've come to, an aspect of my personality that I've come to be very proud of. And I get very irritated when people say, plastic bolte rahenge, oh nepotism bolte rahenge. But when they say I'm PR trained and the things that I speak don't come from my experiences and my mind, that really offends me. Because I've seen these things, I've lived these things, I've formed these opinions. I'm very proud of the way that I process everything that's happened in my life and the way that I articulate it.
Well, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you short. You want to complete
No,
that
and
thought?
I was just saying, I was like, I don't want anyone to take that credit away from me. And even if you don't want to give me that credit, they should at least give themselves the credit, because they've really given me a lot of character development through everything.
I was just going to say that anybody who's heard you this evening is never going to think that you're saying anything in a PR trained way, because it's so you, it's so authentic, it so comes from your own experience. And I just want to thank you, because I do think you're one of the most thoughtful, reflective, accomplished actors of our time. And you're very much yourself, and that is so refreshing. Can we please have a gigantic round of applause for Janhvi? And I know you can, if you want to stand up, you can, because we have an incredible moment coming up. I want to bring on now the woman we've been all admiring for the last month. We've all been admiring her for the last month, and I thought in this moment, a celebration of two wonderful achievers on this stage, along with some of our other achievers, can we please put our hands together for the woman who gave India a World Cup? This is so amazing. And before we give Janhvi her honors, I have one request. We have the wonderful women of the Air Force and the Army. May I ask you, ma'ams, to join us on stage, please? Can we have our 4 officers? You have to give them space to come up, please. You have to give them space to come up. Please, if we can allow them to come up. Ma'am, give them space to come up, please. Everybody needs to go back. Everybody needs to go back. Everybody needs to go back. Back. Back, please. In your seats. In your seats. No more thronging the stage. Yes. Everybody have a seat. Come, ma'am. Come. Harman, we need you in the center. We need you right here in the center. And I know this is a very, very special moment. I just wanted all of these incredible women to be on stage together. Our military officers, our World Cup champion who made history by giving us the first Women's World Cup, oh my God. And the amazingly thoughtful Janhvi Kapoor. And I wanted all of you to present this to Janhvi. Harman's honor is coming. We have a surprise for her at the end of her conversation. But Harman ji, may I ask you to do the honors with Janhvi ji? Yeah, ma'am. Can we have a huge round of applause? This is such a beautiful moment that I want to hear the whole hall. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. And thanking our officers, thank you, thank you, thank you. Please, ma'am.